Hello, and welcome to One Cool Thing, PC Mag's daily show on Facebook and elsewhere on the internet, where we tell you about one cool thing that we've been testing out here in PC Labs. But we don't just tell you, we also want to let you tell us things that you would like to know by writing them in the comments section. We will do our best to answer those questions about this incredible cheap gaming laptop or anything else that you might want to know. And if you're watching us later on the internet, you can come back every day to Facebook Live where we will have yet another one cool thing for you. I'm Tom Brandt, and this is Gabe Carey, and this is the the Asus TUF Gaming laptop. And tell me all the numbers next to it. Do we know what those are?
Oh, F504G maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, okay. So basically, this is a inexpensive gaming laptop. We're going to tell you all about it. But we have to say that there are tons of inexpensive gaming laptops out there. And so, you know, it really pays to look at the specs, look at the styling, things like that. What are the key benefits of this one?
It is $900. That's a benefit for a low to mid-range gaming laptop that sports a GTX 1050 Ti, which is fine for the price.
Right. So those magic words there, the GTX 1050 Ti, that is the graphics card that you'll get in this Asus TUF Gaming laptop. That is pretty good for very basic gaming needs, but right? Or is what can you do with the 1050 Ti?
So I would say it's geared more towards MOBAs and esports and less demanding games that don't require a whole lot of graphics oomph. It also has a Coffee Lake Core i5 processor, so you're getting the latest iteration of Intel's Core i series processors.
Right. So that's something that is actually really brand new for laptops. We haven't seen too many Coffee Lake generation processors in a laptop. What about Core i5? Is Core i5 okay for gaming, or why is this on a Core i7?
I would say for the price, to keep it down, it needs to be a Core i5 as opposed to an i7, and I think that's pretty good for a 1050 Ti. Pairing it together, I think it's necessary to have a Core i5 at that price and at that graphical power.
Right. Now, you mentioned that this might be good for MOBA gamers. I believe that Asus actually now makes specific versions of some of their laptops just for people who want to play MOBA games versus like first-person shooters or things like that, and they actually have different keys highlighted. So you'll have like
QWER.
Yeah, the QWER if you want to play MOBA games. But is that available with this one or not?
No. So it's only the WASD keys are highlighted by like a red border here.
And how's the keyboard otherwise besides that?
It's fine. It's pretty par for the course. You're getting a standard membrane keyboard. It's nothing fancy.
Well, and then it looks like we have one backlight color here, which is red.
Yeah, so
I believe.
Yeah,
so you need to
one
like
backlight
red.
color. Yeah, you have to like red and black.
Yeah,
because it is a red and black gaming laptop through and through.
And honestly, this actually brings up a key difference between a laptop that we just had on Facebook Live a couple days ago, which was a budget model from Lenovo, which completely got rid of the black and red aesthetic, which you see on lots of gaming laptops. I actually really like that machine. I'm not partial to this angular look with the sculpted edges and the red keyboards. I think that you might want to use a gaming laptop for something other than gaming, and it's hard to do that when you've got these accents here.
It's certainly distracting, and I would be kind of embarrassed to bring this around to a coffee shop or somewhere to work.
Sure. It doesn't feel that heavy though. What's the weight here?
I think it was around 5 pounds, like 5.04 or something like that. Yeah, it's pretty light. It's not, you know, a Max Q laptop, but I guess that's for the best because the graphics power it's a full 1050 Ti. You're not getting like any skimp graphics power.
Now we are going to talk about that what the graphics power means in terms of numbers and how it actually plays in real games. But before we do that, if you're just joining us, this is an Asus TUF TUF gaming laptop. It's not super tough; it's mediocre tough. This is an inexpensive machine, but still one worth looking at. Let's take a question.
How many ports are there?
So
just give us a number.
on this side, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 ports and a headphone jack.
Well, so we've got a full-size Ethernet port. Kind of rare now on thinner gaming laptops. They don't have a door or anything. That's great. HDMI output, it looks like.
Yeah, and then 3 USB 3.0.
Yeah, it looks like we've got
ports.
2 USB 3.0 and 1 USB 2.0,
yeah.
which, meh, I don't know that you would really get much use out of a USB 2.0 unless you're plugging. Actually, this is fine for plugging in a dongle for a mouse or something like that.
Yeah, and then there's a headphone mic combo jack. And on the right, there's just a Kensington lock, but notably no SD card support or USB Type-C.
And while we're looking at the
pretty
ports,
disappointing.
I'm finding our review here, so you can keep doing that. We're gonna get ready for some performance numbers. Okay, there we go. All right, sorry. So what you were saying? So there's no USB-C.
No USB-C or SD card support, native.
Yeah, I mean, it would be great to see USB-C. Pretty much every laptop, from the $300 Chromebook, or not Chromebook, $300 Windows machine to the $3,000 over-the-top gaming laptops we see have USB-C now. So the fact that they didn't include it, it's a bit concerning.
Pretty disappointing.
Yeah. All right, so let's talk about gaming. How does this do on games?
It performed pretty well in our Far Cry 5 and Rise of the Tomb Raider benchmarks, up against the. I guess we can.
Oh, should we go down?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, we can go down to the chart here. We actually do we have some synthetic benchmarks. We also play some games as well. On these charts here, it looks like it's pretty good.
Yeah, so we pitted it up against the Dell Inspiron 15700 Gaming, which is Dell's current, or I guess their last generation mid-range gaming laptop, and the Lenovo Legion Y520.
So that's actually, as we're looking at this, the idea that this goes up against this older Dell, that's kind of a key indication of the stagnation that we've got in the mid-range laptop market. There isn't, we haven't really seen a really good one in about a year or so that we can say, yes, this is an editor's choice budget gaming laptop. Really, the last one we felt that strongly about has been this Dell Inspiron 15700.
Yeah, and the new Y530, but it wasn't out when I did this review.
Ah, right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, that Lenovo is what I mentioned earlier. Anyway, but as you can see here, basically we've got perfectly good frame rates if you're willing to turn the game down to medium quality settings and lower resolutions. 100 frames per second, that's ridiculously high. You're never gonna need that
It's
much.
unnecessary because it's a 60 hertz screen, but
Yeah, so basically, I mean, that's what the 1050 Ti is really good for, and that Core i5, those sound like there was kind of mid-range components, but it seems like it works fine for those games.
Yeah, it fared pretty well in
What
our
about,
benchmarks.
now, I mean, Ultra, though, not as great.
Yeah, but it's still, it's above 30 frames per second, which is what you get on a console anyway. So it's going to vary for sure depending on the game. You're going to be able to run your low end, your League of Legends at maximum settings or whatever. But yeah, for high-end AAA games, you might see some frame rate suffering.
Let's take another question.
I mean, do you feel like this is an overall good value there? Like, if you're saying like it's kind of almost competing with consoles, then and like a console's probably like half this or something like that.
Yeah, but it can also be used as a laptop in a Windows environment, which a console can't do anything productive.
So you mentioned that it has a 60 hertz screen. That's pretty standard for most laptops. What else about the screen strikes you?
So it's an IPS display, and the Dell Inspiron 15700 Gaming that we initially reviewed was Twisted Pneumatic. So you're getting a better high quality display out of this. It's got pretty thick bezels, but you know, on the upside, at least the webcam is in the proper position. And I do like the speakers. The speaker grill is right up front here, in front of the keyboard. So you don't have to worry about the sound getting muffled, because a lot of gaming laptops have them on the bottom now. And I'm not a fan of that personally. But then there's the touchpad, which I complained about in the review. It's very flimsy and weird.
Yes.
I don't like it.
Actually, yeah, I mean, I've seen worse, but you can definitely see here as you press on it that there's a gap between the side and the touchpad. You don't want to see a gap in your touchpad where you can see into the computer.
I would go as far as to say that most gaming laptops do not have good touchpads, and that manufacturers should probably do better.
Now, how is the cooling on this thing?
It's fine. It's got standard, what do they call them? Anti-dust cooling fans. So don't have to worry about getting dust in your fans, but it does get pretty loud.
In terms of heat, though, do you feel this being hot when you're gaming?
When I'm gaming, yeah. So it's going to get hot when you're gaming, but it's going to be plugged in, and you're probably not keeping it on your lap. You're probably keeping it on a desk.
Right, sure.
If you're actually gaming. Otherwise, you can use like power saver settings and keep the fans from getting too hot.
Yeah, it's one of the problems really with putting a high-end graphics card in an enclosure and still charging less than $1,000 for it. The cooling architecture sometimes suffers a little bit. We've seen there was a really cheap gaming laptop actually that was only for sale at Micro Center. It was kind of the East Coast version of Fry's. It basically was unusable on your lap because they put a 1070 graphics card into a enclosure that they kind of like bought from somewhere else. It was a cobbled together thing. Amazing value for a GTX 1070. It was around $1,100, but that thing, it was impossible to put on your lap because it was so hot. So hopefully
this one doesn't get that bad. No,
yeah.
In theory, yeah, you could just use it on your lap and it won't burn your thighs.
That's what we look for. Let's take another question.
Do you know what's our top budget gaming laptop right now?
It would be that Legion Y530, right? Yeah,
so we actually just reviewed a Lenovo Legion Y530, which is not here in this this chart, but did that get an Editor's Choice Award?
Yes, it did.
Okay, so that pretty much is your quick and dirty answer for the best budget gaming laptop that you can buy right now, the Lenovo Legion Y530. It's much slimmer than this machine.
It has a higher build quality.
Yeah, higher build quality. Touchpad's still not very good, but as I said before, there's no angled edges or dark red here in my opinion, it looks a lot better. And it's not much more expensive. I believe it's under $1,000 with a 1050 Ti. You're not going to get much better performance from that, but I mean, yeah, go for that.
Good. Yeah.
It looks better. Asus has a huge range of gaming laptops. They have some really high-end ones. Lenovo kind of is a bit more limited, but they do the budget ones well. So that's pretty much our new Editor's Choice is the Lenovo Legion Y530, which is not what we're talking about here, but that's fine.
This one's tougher.
Asus calls this tough, so that's how you know that it's good, I guess.
Sure.
Okay, so yes, the Asus TUF. What exactly is this? The name here, FX504G.
Yeah.
We gave it 3.5 stars.
Oh,
right?
There is one more thing. It comes with 2 games pre-installed, which is a pretty big deal. Gears of War 4, and I don't remember what the other one was, but
clearly not memorable enough to play.
No, it wasn't that notable. But
and this is in addition to Candy Crush Saga and all the other ones you get with
all the garbage you
Windows
get too.
10.
Yeah.
Okay, so is that a reason to buy? I mean, is that kind of a thing where like you buy a PlayStation 4 and it comes with a bundle? Is that the same type of thing?
Same sort of deal. So it's 2 $60 games, so I guess like take $120 off of it or whatever.
And actually, speaking of taking $100 to $120 off, prices change all the time, and as you can see here at the top of our review, It looks like, well, actually no. So this is you have a $3 discount on Amazon over
Cool.
the MSRP. Often you'll see, actually Asus doesn't do this as much. With Lenovo, you'll frequently see several $100s cheaper than the MSRP. But yeah, so you can get 2 games worth $60 and save $3 if you buy it right now. Is that worth? I don't know if that's worth it. So yeah, let's take another question.
Oh no.
We're all good. Okay, so the Asus TUF Gaming FX504G,
Yes.
3.5 stars. Check out the full review at PCMag.com, and we will be back on Monday with yet another one cool thing that we can share with you. Thanks very much for watching.